Hello, and welcome back to my series, Autistic and Pregnant. It's been a while since I did an update in this series, so first things first, not pregnant. Boo-hoo. That's not what I want. And because I am not pregnant and it has been a while, I went to my doctor and I said to my doctor, hey, so me and my partner have been trying for over a year now and we have still not conceived. What's our next step? Can we do, blood tests to check my ovulation, track my ovulation, or check my fertility? My doctor was like, yep, let me order all those blood tests. Let's order a sperm count check for your partner. And I'll also check your eligibility for fertility treatments, because the government will cover your fertility treatments if you meet certain criteria. And he checked all of my criteria. I fit all of those.
Hello, it's me from the future. So at the time of recording, at the time of the appointment, we did not qualify for public funding of any of the treatments. So we could go to the clinic and find out what our options were, but we had to be trying for a minimum of 5 years and failing to qualify for public funding. So we are paying out of pocket for a private IVF treatment. Later on, we found out that my partner also has low fertility. So because both of us have low fertility, we now do qualify for public funding without that 5-year wait limit. But we are doing private first. And then if that fails, we have public to fall back on. But fingers crossed, eh? Okay, back to the past.
So we did all of those things. And he was like, so if there's an issue, do you want me to just immediately refer you? And I was like, yep. And if there's not, then we'll just go to checking my ovulation and making sure that, we're actually trying when I'm during a fertile period. Because at the moment I've been using an app and that calculates it based on averages from your period. And you can't always be sure. I'm pretty sure you can have a period without necessarily ovulating. And also my cycle is particularly short, and when I hear about, general, it's not so short that it's a concern. It's just when I hear about the general idea of you've got, week of your period, you've got a week leading up to it, then you've got ovulation, and then you've got a week before your period. And I was like, that's 4 weeks. I don't have 4 weeks. I don't have all of that time. I have 23 days on average between periods. So that's just over 3 weeks. And it is, it's every month. Almost like clockwork. I mean, it is fairly regular and it's almost always on time, which means I've only once or twice been in a position where I've actually thought I might need to take a pregnancy test, because, you have to wait several days after you've expected your period to come before you take a pregnancy test. You don't just take a pregnancy test. If you take it too early, you're not going to get any results because your body has not making the hormones in high enough levels for the test to pick up on. You need to be several days past your period due date in order for that test to do anything. And even then it can be too early and you might want to wait another couple of weeks. So yeah, realistically, I've never really thought I was pregnant. There was 1 month when I had odd symptoms, and so I wasn't feeling premenstrual in the way that I usually do, and my period was, I think, 2 days late, and I was trying really hard not to get my hopes up, trying really hard to be realistic, but I was in the back of my head thinking this could be it. And then my period came and I was devastated. I started weeping on the toilet. And I, put my pad in, crying. And then I went into my living room and I just cried for a solid 20 minutes on my carpet. And I was like rubbing my carpet to ground myself, with the texture. So I'm just like, like full on, my cat is staring at me like, what is wrong with you? And I tried to give my cat a hug to make myself feel better. And he was like, oh, what is going on with your, hey Godzilla. This is a Godzilla squishmallow that my partner bought. He said to me, hey, I'm about to make a poor financial decision. And I was like, okay. He said, there's Godzilla and Cthulhu squishmallows. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, do it. Like, if you're going to make that poor financial decision, we're making it as a couple. Like, I want that. Buy that. And he went, okie dokie. So we've got Godzilla, but the full-sized Cthulhu was way too expensive. Godzilla, my man, buddy. Full-size Cthulhu was too expensive, and we couldn't find it. But Mini Thulu was available. He's not called Mini Thulu. He's called Theotto, but like, look at his little face and his little wings. He's Mini Cthulhu, so I call him Mini Thulu. More like cute Thulu. Anyway, as I was saying, I was crying on my carpet, trying to hug my cat, who was repulsed by the goop coming out of my face and the noises I was making. And so he flung himself out of my arms and ran away until I had calmed down and had blown my nose. And I was just like, okay, I'm feeling better now. That's when he was like, oh, okay, you're normal again. We can cuddle. I was like, you dick. He's on my bed right now. Am I gonna risk turning my camera? Ooh. 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 You asshole! You left me to suffer. So a few months after the whole weeping incident, my partner and I were like, we are having difficulty finding the time and the energy to perform our baby making duties during that fertile period. Everyone has this issue, and one of the big things I took from watching other people's conception videos and journeys was that the pressure to commit to that schedule, the pressure and the unromantic nature of having to schedule intercourse really put pressure on their relationships. And that was something I talked with my partner about. I was like, I don't want to put that pressure on us. So, but I think we went a bit too relaxed. I think we were a little too loosey-goosey with it. So we decided to get focused, get on task. But we kept coming up against issues of being either too busy, or a lot of the time I was sick. I get sick like that. I have the immune system of a sickly, that little baby weird part of Voldemort underneath the train station seat when Harry has his near-death conversation with Dumbledore, and they're like, ew, what's that? Ew, it's Voldemort. If you imagine what that thing's immune system is like, that's my immune system. And so I get sick like that. I work with little kids, and they're constantly sneezing in my face and coughing in my hair. I get sick all the time. And at the time, I was also doing this community theater and working with teenagers and primary school kids who were also bringing their horrible diseases. At least they mostly cover their mouths when they cough, but it's still, I was sick all the gosh dang time. And I don't feel particularly sexy when I'm sneezing and coughing every 5 seconds. It's really hard to get in the mood to make a baby. Like, come here. Like, I know that there are people who are into that stuff. But unfortunately, it's just not me and my partner's thing. If it was, oh, wow, we would have such a great time. It's just not. So we decided together to try a less intimate method of creating a baby. It is called the turkey baster method. And basically, it's like doing your own sort of in vitro. Not really. Basically, what you do is you get the DNA sample from your partner, and then if you are the person with the uterus, with the cervix, you suck that sample up into a syringe, shove it up, and lie on your back for about half an hour. It is not romantic. It is absolutely not romantic. It is very funny. Absolutely. My partner and I had a lot of fun, like, joking about that. And he would, like, come to me and be like, your sample, milady? And I'd be like, oh, well, thank you, good sir. Now, please take the cat out of the bedroom because his presence makes this whole situation way weirder, and I will see you in 20 to 30 minutes. Very unsexy, but definitely way less pressure on both of us, and much easier to do when I'm sick, and like when he's busy and stuff like that. So we tried that for several months as well, and we weren't finding any results with that either. And I was just like, yep, it's been over a year of us trying. I'm going to go to the doctor. And my partner was like, we don't have to worry yet. And I said, well, no, we don't have to worry. I'm not worried. I'm just impatient. I want a baby. I don't want a baby now. And so let's just get the ball rolling on the next steps, if there are next steps. So that's why I went to my doctor. And we did the blood tests. And I'm really glad that we did, because as it turns out, it's not just, an ovulation issue, a tracking issue, or just a matter of time. I do have low fertility. And I have complicated feelings about that. It's been a couple of weeks since I got that information. So I've had time to process it. I've talked with my therapist. I've talked with my mum. Obviously, I've talked with my partner. So it's not unexpected. As I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning of this journey, because of my endometriosis, it is likely that I had an infertility. There's a higher chance of me having not infertility, but lower fertility. So I'm not surprised. I am disappointed. It's a bit how I approach my IBS. It's like, here is something my body, for all intents and purposes, should be doing, is expected to do. Other people with these organs that I have can do these things, and I can't. And that's disappointing. It's disappointing. And I'm letting myself feel that. I'm letting myself feel that sadness, a little bit of loss. I mean, it's not like I'm completely infertile. It's not like there's nothing in there. It's not dusty and full of cobwebs, but it's just that there's a much lower chance without medicine intervening. But the good thing is we live in the 21st century and medicine is available. So yeah, I approached it practically, let myself feel my feelings, also recognize that we have a plan. Pretty much the day after I got my blood test results, I got a message from the fertility clinic like, hey, here's your appointment time. Hope you can make it. Get some blood tests done. I'm like, I barely had time to process, but okay. I also discovered I have low iron, so now I'm taking iron tablets, which are fun. You've got to take them on an empty stomach, but my pharmacist said that sometimes makes people have a sore tummy. I'm not sure whether or not it's affected me because it's only been like 3 days. I have no idea. But I just thought I'd share that. I'm on iron tablets now too, as well as the folic acid still, no iodine, and of course my usual medications of my antidepressant and my pill that I take at night to prevent migraines, which is something we will talk about at the fertility clinic appointment, because that is in Saturday today. It's on Tuesday. 3 days? Did we say 4 days or 3 days? Why is it so hard for my brain to wrap my head around it? Anyway, it is Saturday today. Our appointment is on Tuesday. I thought I'd do a video before the appointment because I wanted to get a realistic look at my feelings before the appointment and then a realistic look at my feelings after the appointment. If it was all after, then like my opinion would be like skewed by what happened after the appointment. So before the appointment, I am nervous, I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm scared. Like, I've never had a fertility clinic appointment before. My partner doesn't really get it because he doesn't have anxiety. But it's like when I was 14 and I'd never ordered a coffee in a coffee shop before. That was stressful. It's my autism coming in. I don't know the script. I know what my partner says. They're just going to ask us some questions. We're not going to do anything at the appointment. I know what my doctor said, which is the same thing. And I know what the form, the piece of paper they sent me says. But that's not helpful because I've not actually done it yet. I know they're going to ask me questions. I know we're probably going to have to go over the stuff that I already told my doctor and I already filled in a form about. We're going to have to go over, history, previous pregnancies, which as far as I know, I don't think I've ever been pregnant. And, health things. Do I smoke? Do I vape? Do I drink alcohol? Do I take recreational drugs? The answer to all of those things is no. I do drink alcohol. I just drink it so rarely that it's not even like a once a month thing. And when I do, I have a very small amount because I have a very low tolerance, probably because I drink it so little. So there's all those things. We are going to probably talk about my weight and my endometriosis, and knowing all that logically still doesn't help with the nerves. I need a plan. So what my partner and I are doing is we are going to write some questions together before we go in. And I'm also going to have a secret code or something I can say to him that lets him know that I'm overwhelmed and I need to go and just calm myself down. I actually think I'm going to take Mini Thulu because I really like having something to squish. He's got a nice textured wing here. And just like something to ground me during the process. Like I can just squish him. I can look at him. It's going to make me feel better, I think, to just have like a little toy to stim with, a little comfort. And yeah, if I need to, I will just be like, I need a moment to collect my thoughts and take myself out into the corridor and do some breathing exercises. Because this is a big deal, This is the thing that will hopefully lead to getting a baby, but it is also going to be like a journey, an experience. I guess I'm excited to share that journey with other people so that if anyone else, wants to know what that's going to be like, you can look at my videos. I know that there are lots of other videos out there as well, but this is just my take on it. And talking is also how I process my emotions. I'm a talker. I need to speak them out loud and then I understand them. If I'm left to my own devices, I don't know what's going on. So I gotta speak. It makes me feel good. So I did talk to my partner about what like he was feeling, because I was like, I'm feeling very complicated feelings about this. How do you feel? And, you know, I prepare for all of the emotional spectrum. I'm like, oh, you could be feeling like this, you could be feeling this. And he's like, I'm fine. I mean, there's nothing we can do. We can't control it. And we'll just go to the fertility specialists and we'll give them our honest answers and we'll go from there. And I was like, oh, that's so mentally well of you. I really appreciate him. I'm really glad he's with me. And I said to him, it's good for us to do these check-ins. We should keep going, even if we're both fine. Because we need to get into the habit of it, because this is going to be stressful. And there's a very real chance that at some point we may experience a pregnancy loss. Not every IVF treatment works. So, you know, that is going to be a very emotionally taxing thing for both of us to experience. While it will physically be taxing on me, it will be taxing on you emotionally. You know, regardless of the logical side of things, which is it's not our fault. We can't control these things. I still feel like that's going to be an emotionally taxing thing if it happens. Obviously, I don't want to jinx it, but I also don't want to be like, actually, I don't believe in jinxing it. These are not things that you can jinx. I don't believe in those powers. I'm not going to unnecessarily worry about it. But I also not going to be like, I'm going to pretend it's not an option. It is a potential. So here is a but. I also said, like, no wonder you're not nervous about this appointment, because let's just look at what they said they're going to do. So they're going to discuss our medical and reproductive history. Fine. We both know that. Determine whether we're eligible for public funded treatment. We already did that with my doctor, so we know that's already true. We are eligible. They're going to outline treatment options. That's just talking to us. That's awesome. They're going to give us pros and cons, and then they're going to give us time to think about our options. That's all normal. And then your doctor may perform a physical examination, ultrasound scan, or take vaginal swabs during the consultation. So who do you think they're going to be giving those physical examinations to? Who do you think is going to have a vaginal swab? Yeah, it's not the guy who doesn't have a vagina. It's me. No wonder I'm stressed about it. I'm going to be poked and probbed and ultrasound and swabbed. I mean, hopefully not, but probably they are. And no one on earth has ever enjoyed a vaginal swab. So I'm not really looking forward to that aspect of it. But I'm also not shy about it, because I've already been down that road when we were diagnosing my endometriosis. Honestly, this will probably be way less invasive than all of those tests were. So, you know, and you got to be realistic when you're talking to a doctor or anything. Like, what's the point in being nervous? This is a fertility specialist. They literally look at hoo-has every single day, and like uteruses and babies and all that stuff. Like, they are used to all of that junk. So there's no need to be shy about it. I know that my junk is not going to be special to them in any way. I'm not on the extremes of any of the spectrum. They're not going to be like, wow, that's the most beautiful hoo-ha I've ever seen in the world. And then also not going to be like, what is that? Okay? What planet are you from? No, they're probably just going to be like, yep. That's a vagina. So I'm actually not worried about that aspect of it. Like, I'm not nervous or shy about it. I just don't enjoy being poked and prodded anywhere, quite frankly, but especially not, down in a what's it. I don't like the blood tests. They are the worst. I got a bruise from my last one. I think I'm allergic to the tape they stick the little cotton swab on. Of all the things. And, I have to look away like most everyone does. And I also get like dizzy afterwards. And it's like, this is so stupid. They didn't take enough blood for you to actually like get dizzy. This is just anxiety. But that doesn't matter. I'm dizzy, baby. So if you just wanted an update on like, hey, autistic and pregnant, are you autistic and pregnant? Yes to the first, no to the latter. But hopefully not long after the fertility clinic appointment, we'll be on the right track. That's the question I'm going to ask is, what's our timeline? How long between this appointment, us choosing our option that we want to go, the route that we want to go, to us getting to the stage where I have a baby in my belly. Ooh, pardon me. I want a baby in my belly. Like, I'd be happy adopting, quite frankly. Like, I just want a baby. Any baby will do. Legally sourced. I'm not gonna like just the Grinch it, like steal a baby. But my partner doesn't prefer adoption as a method. So I'm like, I know that we are going to make a very beautiful, very autistic baby together, but I also think that we would make great parents to any child, no matter how they came into this world, whether, via my loins or not. But this is the route we're taking, and I am excited. I want to be pregnant. I want to experience that. I am weirdly excited for childbirth. I want to experience that. It's an experience I want to have, I guess, in the way that some people like skydiving or swimming with sharks. This is my risk taking, like I could go into a cage deep into the ocean, or I could push a baby out of my hoo-ha. And I think both have equal amounts of risk. No, I think one of them is definitely safer, and it's not the one that takes place in a hospital. Okay, thanks. Bye!
Hello, it's me from the future again. I lied at the end of this video. I lied when I said I was going to do an update after the appointment. I didn't mean to lie. I was telling the truth. It just turned into a lie because I'm very bad at YouTubing. But basically, I didn't end up doing a follow-up video immediately after. I have filmed the follow-up video and I am editing the follow-up video. So these two videos will be posted very close together, but like they're pretty dramatic. I've had a haircut since then. Many, many months have passed, so apologies for being bad at YouTubing. Okay, not back to the past and back to the present, back to you doing whatever you were doing when you were watching this video. Washing your dishes, having breakfast. I don't know how to finish this. Okay, goodbye!